Hi, I'm Tamara Richardson, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel, where we explore the afterlife and beyond. Well, hello. I've got some angels with me today, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. I am your host, Tamara Richardson, and we today are talking about the Angelic Realm Conference. And I have here the infamous Joan of Angels and Reverend Dr. Judi Weaver. And before we start, hang tight, just a little pitch on my end. If you haven't signed up for my school, sign up for the academyofdivinewisdom.com. I have free and paid for courses that can help with your activation and your ascension program, as well as abilities. And if you're interested in a starseed reading, I can also offer you that with channeled transmissions, or if you're interested in an evidential psychic medium or life path reading, go to southernbellmedium.com. Okay, that's my commercial for me. So let's start. Welcome, everybody. Joan, I want to introduce Judi as well, but Joan, I'm going to have you take the lead because this was your creation. I want to give you credit for that. So tell everyone how this Angelic Realm Conference was created. This is for Portal to Ascension. I know you worked with Neil Gar on this. So I know this has been long planning, and I want to find out, what is the backstory? What is the reason that you felt this was so necessary?
Really the concept for the event began in 2023 when I was traveling abroad with Neil. We were spreading mystery schools around the planet. And my passion is angels, Joan of Angels. And we're in times that, honestly, it's not old-fashioned to consider praying to angels and wanting your angels to be present and wanting to feel them with you. And we are in the time when miracles are really necessary, ever since 2020. And so Neil and I really talked about it. And we decided that, and then we were told by our guides, honestly, that an angelic conference was needed. And especially on Portal to Ascension, we have a lot of angelic beings and people, but this is the time where we all have to really reach out for divine assistance and support. So that was really, and then the name of the event, it went through a lot of evolutions, but the celestial realms, that to me explains where we're going and where we are and where we live in these other dimensions. And so anything about the celestial realms, I think, could be very uplifting to those of us in the third dimension. So
well, you're uplifting.
Well, I can't help that. My wings are spread. That's all I could say. All right. I have been told I'm here to spread light and love and the high vibrational frequencies that angelic beings have. Like when you walk into a room, or when Tamara or Reverend Judi, who I'm just meeting, when we walk into a room, people notice. They feel some different kind of energies, almost as if they feel that halo or those wings, but what they're feeling is how we've raised our light frequency to be of service to the world. So here we are. I'm so excited to be on this panel to reunite with Tamara, who I have to say, I've studied with Tamara in many lifetimes. And one of the funnest things I've done with her is when we've gone into what those lifetimes and what those teachings were and those initiations. And so I can tell you guys, she is a true angelic being who carries heaven on earth. She's going to have a lot of teachings for us. I'm just meeting Dr. Reverend Doctor, right? Right? Dr. Judi, who's also a medium and a metaphysician and a channeler. And we bring a lot to the table.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm excited. And I remember, let me just pass this on real quick before we get into it. When I had Joan of Angels on, I actually sent her an email. And then she was like so bubbly. She goes, hey, Hi, it's so great to meet you. And so we did, I think it was a 2-part show on your artwork. And at the time, you really weren't doing your artwork, which now you're, fabulously known for your incredible portrait art or your different angel art that you've done. And you talked about the 33 angels that you painted. If you haven't seen that episode, see the episode with us on this channel, where she shows the images and her journey and how she was told from the angelic realm to paint these angels, and how that's an activation. And I know, Judi, you also, I think you also do artwork as well. You do a lot. Let me bounce back to, let me go to Judi now, and then we'll go back to Joan, and then Joan can talk about her topic, and then I'll end it off with telling you a little bit about what I'm going to speak about. But I haven't met you before, Judi, but you have been so responsive and so kind with the emails. I mean, you've just been a joy, and I haven't met you right now.
I'm so excited about this. And again, I mean, I love working with the angels, and the angels are so powerful. And the thing that's so wonderful and exciting about where we are now is because people are really going through this transition, transformation, this seeking, this awakening. They're looking for their teams. They really want to grow their teams. They want to understand how to connect and how to be able to communicate. And I'm a trans-channel medium, shamanic practitioner, crystal light healer. I've been working about 3 decades in this field. I really, travel the world. I do sacred trips as well as educational forum online. But I bring in all kinds of different beings with the trance work. So I bring in Archangel Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Zedekiel, whoever, to come in, and each one has their own specific vibration. And the thing that's so wonderful is that people know them, they recognize them, they feel them. The angels specifically have that same vibration and frequency, so everybody does recognize them. But then they have the opportunity to say, that's who that is that's working with me. That's the one that's really lighting me. That's the one that's showing me the way. And they are such incredible, brilliant teachers for all of us to be able to tap into and to push us and to help each of us to recognize that we can be pushed, we can be stretched, we can evolve right here today. We don't have to wait. We don't have to do tons of work. We have to show up and be present and open the gift of today. And the angels are here to help us this day and every day. So I'm so excited to be playing.
You're like a bubbly dynamo, Lorna Byrne, who's been on here. So.
I have never met a depressed angel.
Plus.
Yay.
Yeah. So I can't wait. So tell us, what's your topic going to be? Do you know yet?
Sure. Angel speak. What's your question? What do you want to know? I'm going to go ahead and drop in and bring in all these different angels. What are your questions? What do you want to know? They have voices, and the thing that's so wonderful is when I trance, so many people will see them behind me. And, I have this one client, one of the last sessions I did. Well, it was actually in an event. And Archangel Michael is in, he's giving his directions to this guy over there. And she comes up to me after, she says, I don't see words. I don't see anything. And she says, and I watch them light bulbs fly out of your head and go right over into that guy. And it's so fun because people get to experience it. And once you experience it, you can't unknow it. You know it is. And it sends you into that seeking pathway of a betterment for you. So ask your questions. Come and join us. We're so excited to be part of that Angelic Realm Conference.
I like the concept of you're allowing people to experience it. And I think that's beautiful, because I'm also a channeler, and I don't think people get that sometimes. So I'll make a comment on that. They think it's just the words that come out, but it's the frequency, it's the vibration. If you feel into it with your heart and not your mind, you can feel that shift. So you're really, anytime someone channels the higher level frequencies, they're teaching people how to get in touch with their higher self or their angels or their guides. But I like the idea of you allowing them to experience it and walking people through so they'll know what to feel for themselves.
Yeah, and to recognize what they've
Mhm.
already been feeling. And as you are seekers, or even those who've been on the path a little bit longer, well, then you really want to practice following that light frequency line. And so if you go ahead and you work with these other people who are bringing in these other beings, then you can naturally learn how to stretch into that same space so that then you can do it on your own when you desire to. It's all about teaching every single person to be empowered by themselves, to be able to grow and to become all that they truly are divinely guided to be.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't say that better. That's beautiful. We
Thank
have a guest that came on. I am excited. We've got Stephanie Lodge, who is also a speaker. So welcome, Stephanie.
Hello. I
you.
made it.
Good
We're
to
happy.
see you here. You made it, and we're excited.
I
So
know I had a space just before this, and I was like scrambling and then looking for the link, and then the link I couldn't get to. Anyway, doesn't matter. I made it. The angels
you're
find a way.
here, and that's what counts. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
You're one of the
Tamara.
speakers for the Angelic Realm Conference. Tell people a little bit about you. I know you've got this Angel Academy, but you do a lot of things. Tell people about yourself, and also that you're the topic you're going to be presenting this weekend. And I'm going to go as she's speaking, as Stephanie's speaking. Let me get that registration up for you all so you can sign up. And if you go to portal-to-ascension.org, you can just look under events. It's just going to be right there, and you're going to see our heads. And there's others. I did a part 1 that also has Neil Gar, Daisy Foss, and Stuart Pierce, which, Joan, you're right. They were really sweet. All of them were really a lot of fun, very nice people. So they're also speaking. That was in part 1. There were so many of us, we decided to do a part 1 and a part 2. So welcome to part 2. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your topic, Stephanie.
Yeah, so I've been known as the Hug Angel for a long time. I'm kind of shifting now into the angelic activator mode because there seems to be a lot more angels wanting to come in and really get people lit. I like to say, get everybody holding more frequency. And that's what I teach at Angelic Academy, is essentially what I call celestial embodiment. So I do this in myriad of ways. And what I'm really going to be speaking about at the Angelic Realm Conference is about celestial coherence and how to shift out of some of the stories we tell ourselves. I call this mythic alchemy, when we kind of alchemize some of the old, stories and elements, even on the global level, in order for us to step into something completely new and different. And part of what I teach and what I know is I'm first and foremost an angelic light stream. I got activated in 2006, I believe it was, about 20 years ago, 2005 actually. So that happened because at the age of 5, I had a near death where I fell off a cliff, and Archangel Michael came in and actually kept me online, is the best way to say it. And because of that experience, his signature has always been in my body system, in my DNA system at the cellular level. There's been a certain signature, I guess you would say, that I was unaware of for many years until I got kind of reactivated, like I said, in 2005. And that resulted in me going on this whole reintegration of remembrance and mystical experiences, and having different mentors like Yeshua and Magdalene and others who have taught angelic embodiment in the past. And some people might call this transfiguration. But the fundamental elements that I work with are really what kind of I call the halo, right? This diamond halo frequency that is an instrument of living light that we get to tap into and connect to our angels with, and feel secure in doing so. Because I think one of the biggest blocks for people to connect to the divine, if you will, or the sacred intelligence, is their fear that they're going to mess up, their fear that they're going to connect to something they don't want to connect to, And so that's pretty much one of my specialties, is what I would call sacred security protocols. And so we'd be touching in some of these concepts in the summit and conference, I should say. And I feel really right now where we are, there's a lot of transformation, rapid transformation coming in for so many, that we get to get comfortable with change. And if change is something that we are not comfortable with, then it's hard to kind of shift anything else, right? So we have to kind of first tackle the comfort of change, and make it fun and make it easy, and not make it so like, oh gosh, you know? So I get excited to work with angels, and I work with them at the Seraphim Elohim levels as well. So when those come in, I do sonic activations. So the Seraphim are very much about the sound streams, and the angelic sound streams that come through me are activating, which is why I call myself the angelic activator, because they're charged with a certain frequency that will open up the celestial genome. And so I work a lot with science and spirit. If you can tell, I speak kind of angelic arts and sciences. So that's what I'm going to be sharing about. And that's a little bit about me.
Well, this is another facet. I love it. Do you know, it's interesting. I don't know if you know this, but actually I'm going to be airing that episode. I did, I don't know, a 2-3 part with Michael Jaco. And one of the things he was talking about, he also had a near-death experience with Michael. I know, Joan, you've had him on your channel before too. And I thought I just passed that along personally because I thought you'd find that fascinating. And
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Mikael is the guardian element, right? It's a frequency, right? As well.
Okay.
So it's a consciousness, as you know. So it's kind of like anytime you're going to go into that process of, am I in or am I out, right? You're going to have certain guidance. And I believe that's if you're not meant to go out, then Michael or Mikael would be there for sure to kind of usher you back into the realm.
Absolutely, yeah. He's definitely the one that's in control of this world and between worlds, and then there's Metatron that's over all the planetary solar systems. So I've heard. It's interesting. I've had several near-death experiences, but my angel that I found out later was like a real angel was Uriel, the fire
Like a
of
real
God.
angel as opposed to a not real angel. Just checking.
You're saying, what is the archangel that you're resonating with, which would be the bearer of light or bringer of light, which would be the messenger system, which makes sense for what you're doing today.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah. Gabriel's around a lot too, but Uriel has been with me for a long time, and I saw Uriel very powerful, like a flame, very, very powerful. So, wow, another facet. So, Joan, tell us about your topic.
Well, this is so interesting. It's like all the different ways that we encounter angels. And I think one of the reasons to come to the event on Saturday, guys, is that you're going to find all these different ways that we connect to the angels. But I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm connected to the angels, really. They have literally transformed my life. And I think this is important for many of us to remember that angels can actually really save your life. And in my case, I have spent over 45 years helping people as a chiropractor, a healer, a coach, a counselor. And I was doing really well until I lost everything. And at that time, it was so bad that I had told myself, if I ever lost everything, I'm going to kill myself. So I drove to the Golden Gate Bridge. Now, I had 2 children, and it was a rainy night, and I sat there ready to take my life. I was done. I figured, oh my God, the mission I had been given when I was 30, I haven't fulfilled it. And I was ready to go. And I sat there in my car. I was at the parking lot of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's raining. And I'm in my car, and I close my eyes. And suddenly I'm in a space, probably the celestial realm, with about 12 or 13 angels around me. And I found myself, it was like I was doing a life review. And I had to try to explain to them why I failed at my mission. Now, if you ever had to tell your angels that you failed at your mission, that your whole life you spent with, I broke down. And the love that I received at that time from the angelic realms, the compassion and the love, it just restored me. It was as if they were fluffing my wings, which is why I fluff people's wings now. They literally fluffed my wings and restored me. And so that by the time I kind of opened my eyes, I really understood. I understood my soul purpose, and that life is a journey, and that with their help, I'd be able to continue. And I went home realizing that I was really here to help people connect with their angels and also to really connect with their soul purpose. And that's what I do now. I work with the angels. In 2013. Once again, in a little traumatic state, they came to me and told me to paint 33 angels in 30 days. And I listened. And so in the process of communicating and learning to communicate with angels, the most important thing is to listen. They're like, it's like a little whisper. You have to be settled enough to hear that whisper or to feel when they just like touch your face or whisper in your ear. And so really, I can tell you that the angels saved my life. And I am here like working with people now to help them not only connect with their angels, but to connect with their higher purpose of what their life is about. And that's what I do now. I teach people how to live their best life, how to step into their soul purpose, how to reinvent your life so that you too can do what you came here to do and become unstoppable.
Mhm.
So, and we can do that with the help of our angels. And I know a lot of people tell me all sorts of stories about how angels have saved your life. And so that's also a real phenomenon that has happened for many. And I too saw Metatron. And I remember when I saw him, I was in the temples of Damanhur. He must have been about 100 feet tall, and he had no wings. And it was the first time I had seen angels without wings and realized that I have a friend who used to call me Joan of angels of light, that angels can also show as angels of light. So in my presentation, I'm going to be talking about stepping into the miraculous, stepping into the celestial realm, working with miracles, and I'll be sharing 7 activations, angelic activations and frequencies into love, compassion, and different aspects of that connection. And I am really excited to share all this. I'm excited. I can feel, I don't know if you're all feeling it, but the moment you just hit the record button, I felt like this vibration.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? I wish it was like this in the world when you stepped out, right? It'd be, we need to somehow get a supply of this. This feels great with all you ladies. Well, you do a very good job at that. I think that all of us do a lot of things, right? Just like the angels, they actually can do all each other's tasks, but they are concentrated in a specific area. And I think that it's a choice. I mean, there's no wrong answers here, but I see each of you becoming more niche oriented in what you're doing. And I feel for me, that's also important. Well, as always, Joan was the one, and I have to be forever grateful that got me involved. I know 2 or 3 years ago, a portal to ascension. And since then I have gone way so out of my comfort zone, y'all. I've talked about being a half fish woman, being in Atlantis, and did an activation. I'm like, oh, it was so, anyway, and how to create a portal, how to create Stargate portals. And anyhow, it's way out there stuff, quantum time travel, how to time travel. And so here we are with angels. So I'm going to keep the same theme of being edgy, and I'm going to be talking about, with my topic, angel hybrids. And I'm going to be talking about how to detect. Oh yeah, I'm going there. I got to be.
You got to do it.
Yeah. We're angels in training, are we not?
Oh my gosh, exactly. Look, I'm a Jesus-loving person from the South, and don't mistake that. I'm on the fringe a lot of times. I live on the fringe. So people either like me a lot or don't. But I'm going to go there. I'm going to talk about how to detect angel hybrids now. Because I've had 6 near-death experiences, I can see who they are. I'm going to talk about how I recognize mine, and it was in a regression with a famous person, and it was pretty intense. And I was really surprised. So I kind of sat on that, not thinking about it, and I'll talk about it. And then as time went on, I was told multiple times by multiple sources. It was finally till Yeshua came to me and had to tell me about it. But I'm going to talk about how I discovered I was, and the abilities we have with our bioluminescence, and how you can glow. I can glow, and you can too.
Ooh,
I know, cool. That's a cool trick, right? But how that works and how the blending in essence. If we were full on, I mean, we really couldn't be here because it's hard to anchor in a body. It's already hard to anchor as a body as a normal person. But there are people walking amongst us that do have essence of the angelic realms within them. Now, we can all learn to have, through the purity concepts, we can learn to, and I don't mean like per dogma religion, but through the purity of our heart and our desire to serve, through those things, that we can all become angelic-like. And this is what one of the things I talked about as an Essene. I decided to give up being married and just channel Ezekiel the whole time. That was my main contact as an Essene. So, this is, we have angels, but we can kind of be angels too, and what that really means. So I'm going to go there, depending on the time, because I want to talk about the traits, what to look for, how to ground problems with angels coming into this world. The agreement they made on the other side to be the angelic here. And so we really can't complain. We did sign up for this. That how to handle as far as grounding and being in this world. Common things I see with angels. More advanced, Joan. I don't know Judi and Stephanie as well as you, since we just met. But many angels, for example, they're forgiving of everyone and everything, and they're too nice, and so therefore they don't have discernment in situations, which can be bad. Could be bad in business. Could endanger people because there's such a love bug that, and I see this with certain ones that they just walk in this cloud of love, which is beautiful. And so being here, it's a little tricky. So, how to incorporate that. So I may end off with an activation or a channeled message, but I'm more interested in teaching people how to recognize it in themselves, and if maybe do an exercise to help them, realize within themselves. So, when it's all done, I'll work it all out. But that's kind of where I'm coming from. And hopefully that just by this message will activate people. I will say this, years ago, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, I was like, screw it. And readings, I just started telling people, you're from the angelic realm. And then they always say, I know. They always say, they go, I know. And I'm like, I mean, it could be, okay, let me tell you this. This is so funny because we got to lighten it up. Okay, so I was on like a Carnival cruise like 4 years ago. And there was this little African-American guy, a little young guy. I got in the jacuzzi and he was with this little hot girlfriend. And I'm going in the jacuzzi and he's just talking of, hey, how's it going? Da, 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 da. And I looked at him and I went, and I didn't know him at all. He's just totally a muggle. And I went, you're an angelic. And he goes, how do you know that? I'm here. He said, nothing's going to happen while I'm on this ship. And I'm like, and I went, and it was so funny. And I went, how do you think I know? And so, but he's just, I've had people off the street. I mean, like, not like people like us. And I go up to him and go, so-and-so. There was another guy that had a near-death experience. And I did the interview with him. And in between interviews, I didn't know if he was comfortable talking about it. I said, you brought someone back with you. It's not a walk-in entirely. It's a blending. And I said, it's an angelic. They saved you. That's why you're still here in your heart or whatever. And he goes, oh my gosh, I've been telling my grandmother I'm eating for two. So he was just a regular person who had a near-death experience. So I think the way that I can understand this right now is God is so wonderful that if say, hey, we need some help. There's a little bit of a spiritual war going on. Would love your assistance, and you're going to come back a little jacked up. So what do you think? And they're like, cool, let's do it. So, anyhow, well, look, Joan, since you created this conference and so forth, I have at the bottom running to sign up. Sign up is this Saturday. I'm going to leave you the final word. Since you created this beautiful event with really, everybody's been just amazing. I mean, and the synchronicity of all the different angles, I knew it would happen. Every time there's something, do you notice how everybody's touching all the different facets of this topic? I mean, Stephanie's is super cool. I mean, Judy's just going to come out with some experiential channel messages. I mean, everything's just going to blend so beautifully.
Tamara, I just want to jump in before we close, because I came in kind of discombobulated. One of the things I want to share regarding the conference is I absolutely will be doing an activation and experiential element because that's always what I do. But what's interesting is I've been working with the nervous system specifically and the vagus nerve specifically. So I'm going to be teaching an element of how to reset the vagus that I call halosoma that is really important, especially for angelic hybrids and others, because there's so much light running in the system and the nerves, right? That it can get a little bit interesting. So I'm going to be working to teach everybody a little bit of an exercise on how to kind of bring that grounded element in a different way through the vagus nerve. And then also, because I'm a neurofit trainer as well. So it's interesting how they've been bringing me more into the body. So this is what I mean by angelic embodiment or celestial embodiment, is how do we really hold the light in instead of, I call it stilt walking, where we're like half in, half out of the body, right? So this is a really important thing, I think, now more than ever, for people to really own their light. Bring the light in.
Ooh, that's beautiful. I love that. Own your light. I wanted a bumper sticker. That's awesome. Own your light.
I know, it's true. I mean, you have to own it. And it's really, for me, I kind of think of us all as like, I kind of think of myself maybe, and I won't speak for everybody, but I kind of feel this for many of you. It's like we're Swiss Army knives, right? In a powerful, positive way, though, where we have all these different, elements that we can do. We're multifacets, but there's usually going to be the one, like you said, that we focus on. And I think for myself, it is guardianship. It's planetary guardianship. And I will be sharing about the chrysalis, which is this kind of womb of light that's coming around the planet right now to create Diamond Earth, which is what I call Sovereign Earth or New Earth instead of 5D Earth. I don't go limit to 5, but I will say that the languaging and the light and everything that's coming in, they're telling me, is super important in terms of how we start to come into this common denominator of angelic frequency. And I think that's really the beauty of angels, is it's beyond, any belief system. They are the bridge, right? And I think that's the power of where we can meet. And I call that the angelhood. And I'll share more about that later in the conference too. What that is.
Love that. Angelhood. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And she's also the hug angel.
I am known as the hug angel. In fact,
you are. That is adorable. I love it. The angelhood. I love it.
This is literally coming soon, hug angels, but for kids. But I am known as the hug angel as well.
I think you need some adult hug angels.
Oh, it's for everybody. It's for seniors. It's for kids. It's for people in hospital. It's for everybody. Hug angels. We all need hugs, right? So
well, and the other thing I want to mention, Stephanie, you've got these beautiful little these angel dolls, and whether it be art, and I know that, well, I'm creative too. I went to art school. I own an ad agency. I'm creative. We're all that's part of the whole angelic realm thing. So that's kind of like a, right? It's kind of like a thing within us. So with the activation, I just wanted, this thought. I wanted to tell people that are watching, it's not like I am doing an activation now. I am channeling a message. Our presence is an activation. Right. Just, if you show up and you're going to love it, so register. And it's super affordable for like how many people? There's like 8 of us. I don't know, 6. It's a lot. So you're going to get an activation just by our presence. Whatever we say, it's not. We're back to what I was mentioning about Judi and her channeling. Is not just the words that are said, but it's the activation and the frequency and the delivery into your nervous system, as Stephanie said, that's going to happen within you. Who knows each person? I don't know. Maybe you'll be unstuck from your thing. You just won't be stuck anymore. I don't know. I don't know what your thing is, or you don't have attention on something within the body or outside, in your atmosphere. But there's going to be an activation just by our nature and our presentation with all of us, because that's just who we are. So it's such a beautiful opportunity to come out in a safe format. That's one thing about Portal to Ascension. And I have to say, you could talk about dragons. I talked about my Pegasus and being on a dragon in the etheric realms. All angels have their dragons, and their Pegasus. So this is a perfectly safe platform to really embrace that part of who you are. And we get to do it too. So we get a gift back too, because we get to really be fully who we are by people that are eager to know us, as well as we're eager to know you. And of course, everyone will let you know how they can get in touch with you. I'll have below in the description everyone's information so you can contact them directly. But the main thing is sign up and register. What a great opportunity to really get activated to your higher aligned self just really within a short amount of time. So I thank each of you. Now I'm excited. I mean, just in your presence, I'm just like, wow, y'all are really cool. I mean, how cool are each of you? You're just like super cool. Like, I really like this angelhood thing. I really like the team. You know, God really knows what he's doing. So it's so nice to meet everybody. So thank everybody, and make sure that you register below Portal to Ascension. You're not going to regret it. Tell your friends and share this, and sending you all love. Joan, I'm going to give you the last word and we'll sign off.
You know, I think you're going to learn that there's so many different ways of connecting with the angels and feeling that angelic presence in your body. And I'm already learning so much right over here. We have so many different perspectives, but each one of them is going to be designed to bring your light energy all the way up to a 10 and fluff your wings. And so that we can really do the work that we're here to do. Yeah. So I think we'll get angel protocols, which I'm excited to understand and dive deeper into them. God, I'm about to, I don't know why I'm choking here. Anyway, we will see you all on Saturday.
Awesome. See you all. Thank you so much, Judi, Stephanie, you're fantastic. Sign up, everybody. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, like, make comments, and share with your friends. I appreciate you and your continued support.